Okay. Testing, testing. Okay, this is working. One Horse Town. One Horse Town. A My Little Pony story by You Love the Game. Prologue. Pinkie Pie opened the door to her house with a happy smile. I hate the, on her face. A pony in a black hooded cloak was waiting outside. Hold on.
Hi, stranger. Hi, stranger.
She greeted the stranger pony on her doorstep. Hi, Pinkie Pie. The strange pony lifted a letter in his hoof. I have a letter here for you from. He squinted at the name written on front of the letter, Chorus. Pinky jumped with excitement.
Chorus? I always love to hear from a good friend. You know, there's nothing better than good friends. I have had too many good friends throughout my.
Can you take the letter, Pinky? That strange pony insisted. Pinky smiled and grabbed the letter. She opened it and it began to recycle it loudly. Aloud.
Hi, Pinky. I'm just writing to see how.
Pinky paused.
Wait, have we met before? How did you know my name? You're not the usual male pony. What's with the spooky dark
I'm sorry. Pinky was interrupted by a cloud of sparkling dust that erupted from the horn of the pony on her doorstep. Her eyes fluttered shut as her legs gave in, and she tumbled to the ground. The strange pony picked the coarse letter between his teeth, set it on the table inside, and dragging Pinkie Pie limb's body away with him. And that's a prologue. Now the chapter. One Horse Town. A My Little Pony story. You know the game. Chapter 1. Chorus. Chorus awoke to the sound of music emanating from his own horn. The pleasant jiggle medley indicates to him that the alarm spell that he cast the night before had indeed worked. Chorus climbed out of the bed and stepped towards his mirror. He grabbed his brush and began to brush his pink mane until it completely, perfectly coiffed. He shook off whatever remaining sleepiness in his mind he had. He gave himself a big smile. Good morning, me. Good morning, me. Chorus said to himself. Chorus trod over to his window and gazed outside. The sky was clear, and the sun shone brightly. The Pegasi must have cleared the sky early in the morning. It was sure to be another lovely day in Ponyville. The warm sun on Chorus' spotty pink fur made him feel rejuvenated and ready to start the day. He stepped on the stairs of his humble house and breezed out of the door, eager to spread his music with ponies of his town. As he did every day, he searched for a perfect spot to play his music. He he settled on a grassy widow on the outskirts of town. He concentrated on the new song he was preparing. Let the arrangement sound of his horn, covering the surrounding vicinity with a calming melody. He let the music play for a couple meters longer than before beginning the lyrics. Sunshine so bright today. The grass swayed in the breeze. I look out my window, and there's nothing more I need. I see so many smiles, and that's why I sing this song. I love it here in Ponyville, where every pony belongs. Several ponies passed, stopped to clop. Several ponies, several passing ponies, stopped to clap their hooves at chorus finished his song. Some coin tossed in his direction. Thank you, Rabbit Pony. Chorus bowed for them. He sang and played his music in the widow all day, occasionally taking breaks to rest and eat. He loved to play music for others. His cutie mark was a music note after all. He didn't have many friends, but his music kept him good enough company. The cheers and admiration, admiration from the ponies in town also helped. When he was done resonating the sound, he bowed for the final time and maneuvered through the streets of Ponyville to get back to his house. When he arrived at his place, there was a letter waiting for him in the front of his door. It was from Pinkie. Pinkie Pie was one of course childhood friend. They hadn't spoken in a while. Give me a second here. Okay. Since Pinkie had been kind of a major presence in Ponyville, nevertheless, Chorus sent her a letter to check up on her because she did miss her. He figured this letter would must be her response. He brought the letter inside. He sat down at the pink table in his bedroom and opened the letter.
Hi, Chorus. I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Love, Pinky.
I'm sorry, hold on. Chorus squinted in confusion at the letter. He flipped over to make sure he wasn't missing anything. He searched every corner of the letter, but there was nothing. That was really all she wrote. Chorus didn't know Pinky was even capable of saying that title. This was too strange to ignore. Chorus set the letter down and left his house once more. Chorus quickly arrived at Pinky's house as the sun was setting in the sky. He knocked on the door and waited for Pinky to open it. He heard Pinky's hoof clump towards the door.
Who is it?
Pinky asked from behind the door. Sorry for my eye twitches and stuff like that. It's me, Chorus. Chorus replied.
Oh,
Pinky opened the door to see face Chorus.
hi, Chorus. Did you get my letter?
Yes, that's actually why I'm here. Are you sure everything is going well? I don't know, it just felt that letter wasn't really you. Pinky blankly stared at Chorus. She had the slightest hint of nervousness behind her blue eyes.
I guess I'll be sure to make my next letter more me. Now, if you excuse me, I have some baking to do. It was good to see you, Coral.
Pinky laughed. Pinky waved goodbye and closed the door in Chorus' face. Coral? Did Pinky forget his name? They didn't had seen each other in a while. How could she forget his name? A memory suddenly resurfaced in Cora's mind. The last time Pinky acted this strange was when Ponyville was overrun with Pinky clones of an unfortunate duplicate experiment that Pinky had conduct conducted yeah conducted. Come on. Okay. Chorus had been personally visited one by one of Pinky's clone. It was a strange experience. The clone was more fidgety than usual. She kept misremembering some basic things and some things about her seems off. It felt familiar to the interaction that just took place in front of Pinky's house. Was it possible? Was it possible? Pinky had duplicated herself again? Let me check. Nothing is there yet. I'm still in the 10-minute mark. Okay. Mm. Chorus tried to remember how exactly Pinky created all those clones of herself. Deep in thought, another memory resurfaced of a childhood playdate at Nana Pinky's house where Nana, Pinky, told Chorus and Chorus, Pinky told Pinkie Pie, Nana Pinky told Chorus and Pinkie Pie the legend of the mirror pool. The tale tells of a way that of one pony to become two. Chorus remembered the whole situation. Was that confusing? What was confusing, though, was that Chorus remembered hearing that Twilight Sparkle had sealed that entrance to the mirror pool. Was the entrance open again? Chorus needed to figure this all out. He stepped away from Pinky's house and set out for the Everfree Forest just as the sun had set in the sky. The darkness of the night made the Everfree Forest hold on had made the Everfree Forest seem scarier than it already was. Chorus swallowed his fear and charged into the trees. He recites the direction to the mirror pool as he searched for it. Where the where the grumbles are thickest, you will find it. A pond beyond the most twisted of vines. As soon as Horace finished repeating the direction, stumbled upon a mess of brambles and vines forming a wall in front of him. This seemed like the right place. Horace pushed through the greenery in an attempt to reach the other side. The plant pushed and pulled at him, making it difficult to traverse through them. But eventually Chorus popped out on the other side. He stumbled around and, disoriented from the vines, he fell to the ground. His head landed away a few inches from a deep hole in the ground, a hole that was contrary to the popular belief, completely open. What was even stranger, though, was that Chorus was not alone. Okay. Chorus looked up on the ground to see two ponies on the other side of the hole. What could other ponies possibly be doing at the entrance of the mirror pool? And that's chapter 1. Chapter chapter 2, prose. Pro. One Horse Town, a My Little Pony story you know and you love the game. Chapter 2, prose. Prose awoke to the sunlight pouring through her window, illuminating her entire room. She climbed out of bed and walked to one of her bookshelf bookshelf to pick up a book to read for the day. She scanned every shelf lining her wall, but no book particularly piqued her interest. This meant she had would venture out into town in order to find a book for the day. She couldn't skip reading. Her cutie mark was a book, after all. She prepared to go out into town. Hold on. She stood in front of her mirror, attempting to brush her poofy oral mane, but it remained in the exact same state as it was. She shrugged. She put on her saddlebag and headed for the door. She decided to visit Twilight's castle in search for books of a book. If anyone had an interesting book to read, it was Twilight Sparkle. Pros didn't know her at all that well, but their shared interest in reading that caused them to cross paths time to time. She knew Twilight would open to share her collection with a fellow bookworm. Pros hoped one day to become friends with her, but she figured that princess status might make her too busy to spend the time together. She didn't need any friends anyway. Her books kept her company. Prose trot towards Ponyville, admiring the beautiful weather. The sun warmed her in her purple, dark purple, fuck, dark purple fur. I'm sorry, that was a little bit of a tongue twister. She heard some ponies singing a song that she couldn't see who. The sky and the ambience combined made this environment perfect for lying down under a tree to read. She smiled at the thought as she arrived at Twilight's abode. She knocked on the door, waited for Twilight's arrival.
Come in.
Twilight called from inside. Twilight swung open the door.
Prose, what brings you here?
Twilight inquired.
Hi, Twilight. Could I possibly borrow one of your books to read?
Rose asked.
Of course. I would never deny any pony the gift of knowledge. Feel free to browse my collection.
I'm sorry for the. I'm sorry about that. Twilight stepped aside, allowing Prose to enter her home. Prose stepped into the doorway and began to browse Twilight's vast stock of books. She searched for a couple of minutes before she landed on a Transmutation and Disguise for Beginners. Huh, which sounded like an interesting book to read, interesting to read.
Transmutation and Disguise for Beginners? An interesting read.
Twilight commented.
It's also one of my own. It's also one of the. It's also one of only two copies in existence. There are a lot of rare books in my library. If you ever need to come back for more. That's very nice. That's so nice of you, Twilight. Thank you. I'll be sure to take you up on that offer.
Prose thanks. She tossed the book into her saddlebag and turned to leave. Something strange caught her eye. On a different shelf, there was an empty space. Every bookshelf was perfectly organized and properly filled. An empty space looked wrong.
Hey, why is there an empty space on that shelf over there?
Okay. Prose pointed a hoof towards the shelf. Twilight looked at the empty space.
Oh, that book. Oh, that book went missing a couple of weeks ago. I don't know where it went, but if you find it though, I would appreciate it if it's returned. What book was it?
Prose asked.
The Legend of the Mirror Pool. It came in handy that one time Pinkie Pie made all those clones of herself, but I don't think it should be in hoof of just any pony.
Twilight explained.
Hmm. Well, I'll let you know if I see it anywhere.
Prose said.
Thank you again for the book.
Prose turned towards the door to leave.
No problem. Enjoy your reading.
Twilight bid her farewell to Prose. Prose walked out of the door and searched for Ponyville for a perfect tree to read under. She she picked a nice and shady one, sat down underneath it. She read for hours learning about magic. She could never cast herself, but it wasn't necessary particular oh practical application for her. She just loved to learn, whether if it's useful or not in the future. She prided herself on the pursuit of knowledge. Uh, the sun began to set, which was dimming her crucial reading light. She decided to take that sign to pack up for the day. She tucked the book into her saddlebag, thankful for Twilight's generosity. She felt a little guilty for not offering Twilight anything in return. Why would she possibly offer Princess Twilight Sparkle? There was one thing she knew she could do for her. She was going to find that book for her. Why would okay, why would some pony steal a book about the mirror pool? Didn't Twilight close the entrance to that after the whole Pinkie Pie incident? Well, one thing's for sure. No pony is stealing a book about mirror pool without intent to use that knowledge in some ways. So maybe she would find some sort of evidence at the cursed pond. She charted her course to the home of all things cursed, the Everfree Forest. She didn't know the exact location of the pond, but she was determined to find it. The sun had set, so navigation was already difficult in the forest. It didn't help there were so many natural obstacles in her way. She wandered around, searching behind. Hello. Okay, it's working. Hello. Okay. She wandered around searching behind every rocks and trees, completely unsuccessful in her search. As she was searching, she felt something wrap around her hoof. A stray vine had caught her in its trap. She tugged and pulled at it, but she was stuck. As she shrugged, she found herself tangled more and more in the vine. She became trapped amidst a mess of brambles and vines. She fought back against the vine to prevail, to no avail, until she suddenly popped out on the other side. She struggled to find her footing, but when she gained stability, she was able to see the deep hole in front of her. This had to be an entrance of the mirror pool, but it wasn't covered like it used to be. Not only that, but there was another pony standing in the few feet away from it. Uh, uh, she turned to speak to her. Who? Pro was interrupted by the sound of another pony crashing to the vines. A pink pony fell out of the vines, stumbled to the ground. Pro looked back and forth between the two ponies. Could it? What? What could other ponies possibly be doing at the entrance of the mirror pool? That's chapter two. Now onto the other one. Okay, One Horse Town, a My Little Pony story, and you know the game, and you love the game. I'm gonna hate this so much. Chapter three, Ginger Blush. Ginger Blush awoke to the anxious thought about being late for work. She sat up in bed and headed towards her mirror to prepare for the day. She grabbed her brush and brushed her ginger mane, but until it perfectly fell into place. She opened her makeup box and pampered her face to perfection. She smiled at her hard work in the mirror. She loved doing her makeup every morning. It was an art of her. Makeup was a cutie mark after all. She packed up her makeup and brushes and headed for her to her door. She was about to open the door to leave, but a small cat walked in front of her, seeking attention. She reached down to pet him, Maple was her best friend, and her only friend. She didn't need any. She didn't need many friends. Her salon, her salon job kept her busy, and Maple kept her company.
I'll be right. I'll be right after. I'll be home right after work, Maple. Don't worry.
Ginger assured her pet. She ushered Maple out of her way and stepped into the warm sun. The weather was beautiful. Ginger blushed, enjoyed the subtle breeze as she trotted to the salon. Oh, okay. As she approached her place of work, she could hear some pony singing a lovely song, but she couldn't pinpoint where. Everything seemed to be lining up for a pleasant day in Ponyville. She opened up the glass salon door and stepped in. The welcome bell jingled behind her as she stepped in to her station, set up her supplies. Once she had everything ready, she had wait for her first client. After a while, a familiar face appeared at the door. It wasn't Ginger. It was somebody Ginger wasn't expecting to see.
Oh, hi. Hi, Rarity.
Ginger blushed, said quietly, called out.
What brings you here?
Rarity looked slightly puzzled at the question.
I just need you to touch up my mane. Can you do that?
Mm. Ginger blushed knew Rarity from brief interaction within the beauty world. She never come into the salon before.
Don't you usually do your own mane?
Ginger asked. Rarity paused.
Well, yes, but today is putting up a little particularly difficult fight.
Rarity walked up to Ginger station and sat herself down. Ginger ran her brush. Okay.
Ha!
Okay. Okay. Down. Ginger ran her brush through Rarity's mane, which indeed rather tangled and messy. Her brush and styled the mane until it was almost back to its normal, silky, shiny state. She grabbed a pair of scissors and lightly trimmed off some manes that looked out of place. After that, Rarity's mane was restored.
Do you like it?
Ginger blushed, asked, waiting for approval.
Oh, yes, dear. It's simply marvelous. Now, if you excuse me, I must be on my way.
Rarity left a couple of coins at Ginger's station and briskly walked out of the salon. Their interaction was strange enough for Ginger to be suspicious of something. When she went to clean up the mess she made, she knew for sure there was something wrong. The clip of mane she was just caught off rarely laid strewed across the floor. Come on. Oh, fine. But still, I'm still charging it. Okay. Turn it off. Across the floor. But they weren't her classic purple mane. They were deep red. Ginger, never seen mane had changed color like that before. She grabbed a few clamps of the mane and headed towards the back of the salon while she analyzed the red locks in her hoof. She overheard a hustled conversation between her coworkers, Lucky Lashes, and a client. I don't know. Okay.
That doll keeper wants us. back at the mirror pool tonight. He needs he said we need to go over roll again.
Lucky started.
Again?
The con- Whoa. The client complained.
I feel like we've gone over our roles a million times. I know. He just want everything to happen perfectly. We all do.
Lucky clarified. Doll keeper? Ginger? I mean, doll keeper? Miracle? Ginger had heard plenty of strange salon conversation throughout her beautician careers. Wow, that's a mouthful. But this one sounded more mysterious and sinister than any she'd ever heard. She recalled last time she heard about the miracle. It was one of the first horde of Pinky terrorizing the town. What else could any pony be doing with it now? And that she'd heard, and that the last she heard. The miracle has been closed off by Twilight Sparkle. All this was too confusing and troubling for Ginger to ignore. As soon as she finished the makeup on her last client of the day, Ginger quickly packed up her supplies and set a course for the Everfree Forest. The setting sun fell beyond the horizon as she reached the edge of the trees. The dark forest loomed over her menacingly. She felt almost too scared to go in, but if she wasn't the one to uncover this mystery, she didn't know who else would. She pushed past her fears and carefully tiptoed into the spooky woods. Branches of gangly trees reached out above her like arms trying to snatch her up. With each turn she took, the scarier her environment became. All kinds of dangers lurked in the every forest. She knew that the miracle was there in somewhere, but she trudged ahead. So she trudged ahead. I'm sorry. After half an hour searching, she stumbled upon a dark stump of a dark, thick tree. Her gaze traveled from the base of the tree to look like a giant evil face imbued within the bark. Ginger screamed. In her fright, she stumbled backwards and snaring herself in a tangle of vines and brambles. She tripped and tumbled through the foliage until she slipped out on the other side of it. She glanced at the surroundings and immediately noticed the sizable holes in the ground. She heard the miracle that was the underground. She had also heard that the entrance was closed off. So the only way to know if the hole led to the pond to go in and find out. Before she could set hoof in the hole, she heard a rustling coming from the vine and grumbles. She watched as a dark indigo mane stumbled out, Brumble still caught in her coral mane. The pony turned to her and opened her mouth to say something. Who? She never finished her question, but because suddenly there was another rustling within the vine. Ginger, watch, as another pony popped out. This time was monochromically pink. The pink pony fell to the ground and looked up at Ginger with every and other ponies. Ginger almost talked to herself, asked herself, how could other ponies possibly be doing at the entrance to the mirror pool? But she remembered there was apparently supposed to be a meeting there was yet there were there that very night. I feel like this story is about the mirror pool I mean, it literally is the miracle in disguise. And I'm okay. Okay, 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 okay. Okay. One horse pony, one horse pony. A My Little Pony story. And you love the game. Ah, no views yet. Someday I will buy goth boots. The game. One second. Need to promote this stuff so it can be spread out. Okay. Okay. One horse pony, one horse town, a My Little Pony story, and you love the game. Chapter 4, A Master Plan. Horace suddenly picked himself up from the ground and looked back and forth between the two other ponies. What are you two doing here? Prose looked at Ginger, blushed, and Chorus, and Ginger blushed, looked at Prose, and Chorus.
Well, I'm trying to find something for my friend, Twilight.
She explained. Twilight? Like Princess Twilight? Sparkle? Chorus asked.
Yes, Princess Twilight Sparkle.
Prose elaborate. Ginger chimed in. Ginger blushed chimed in. Ah, not today, not now. I'm busy.
So you guys weren't here for whatever suspicious meeting it's supposed to be happening at the Miracle tonight?
Chorus and Prose both looked at her with puzzled expression.
There was there was supposed to be a meeting here tonight?
Prose questioned.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm here exactly.
Ginger, Ginger spoke.
Not to attend the meeting. I mean, I actually don't even know what the meeting is for. Is this the miracle, right? This is
This is definitely the miracle. The rhymes never lie. Uh, Chorus, clarify. Okay. Ginger, blush, and Prose stared at Chorus, wondering what he said. He just said supposed to make sense.
just trust me.
Just trust me. This is the right place. Chorus clarified again.
So, are we supposed to jump in this ominous dark hole?
Prose prodded prodded at the edge of the hole with her hoof. Chorus gazed down with the hole, unable to see the bottom of it. I'm sh- I'm sure it's perfectly safe. My Pinky, my Pinky, my friend Pinky did it once. She surely was fine. All three of them shared. All three of all three of them shared a moment of remembering what that Pinkie Pie clone incident. She she mostly fine. He was mostly fine. Chorus corrected. The three of them gazed down into the deep hole.
You know, I might just want to sit with someone.
Ginger blush was interrupted by the sound of rustling vines and ponies conversing.
I wish we didn't go through all these vines every time we go here.
A a unknown voice complained. Let me drink my drink. Hold on. I'm thirsty and shit. A little ASMR, water ASMR. A little water ASMR, I don't mind. and shit. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, chorus, Prose, and Ginger Blush all exchange frightened looks. Chorus closed his eyes and took a leap of faith into the hole, into the sinister hole, hoping to avoid any more ponies that night. Prose watched as Chorus disappeared into the darkness, hesitantly jumped in after him. Ginger weighed her option, anxiously pacing around the edge of the hole as the voice neared. The, she backed away from the sound. She took one step too far, slipped, and fell backwards into the entrance of the mirror pool. The ponies tumbled and twisted throughout the dark underground tunnel. Chorus was the first one to come out of the other side. Prose followed soon after, crashing into Chorus, knocking them both over. Ginger rolled out over the tunnel in a short moment after that and landed right next to Chorus and Prose. All three of them stood up to face the mirror pool. They didn't know what they were expected the mirror pool looked like, but it wasn't this. The magical the magic pond was there, of course, in all of its watery glory. It was what was surrounding it that was surprising. Firstly, it seemed half of the ponies in Ponyville was there. The ambient bioluminescence bioluminescence revealed too many familiar faces among the numerous ponies gathered in the echoing cave. Chorus gasped at the sight of Pinkie Pie amidst the crowd. Ginger shuddered after a glimpse of Rarity's freshly donned mane somewhere in the mass of ponies. Prose sighed in relief that Twilight Spark was nowhere to be seen. Chorus, Prose, and Ginger Blush had never been to the mirror pool, but none of them had imagined it looked like this. Busy. There were tents set up all around, tables strewed about, and it looked like some sort of amateur construction crew had come through and renovated the place. There was a stone stage area carved out of one of the cave walls. There were entrances to several crude tunnels in several different places around the cave. It was plainly evident that some convert operation was happening down there. The sound of more ponies crashing down the entrance tunnel suddenly became inaudible to Prose, Chorus, and Ginger.
What do we do?
Prose panicked. Prose scanned the environment of the cavern. She spotted an area crowded by. Hold on, I don't know what is this. Straggle, stagla, staglamites. I don't know. I'm gonna go to Google Translate for this shit. Mm, hold on. Tanen tanen tan 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 tut tut tanen tanen tan 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 tut tut. Stagnate?
Stalagmites.
Stalagmites. That's where it is. I'm sorry. That one was a butchered. With stalagmites, devoid of any bioluminescent plants, it was dark and obscure. It was a perfect place to hide. Prose turned to her new accomplices. Follow me, she advised. Ginger and Chorus did indeed follow her. The three ponies tiptoed stealthily throughout the dark. Pros guided them to the hiding spot. Each pony picked a rock to hide behind. Their new hiding, their new secret vantage. I don't know. Vantage point allowed for further investigation for their surroundings. Ginger blushed, noticed something strange about all the tools and appliances she noticed on the table in the tent around the cave. She turned to whisper, finding her findings to chorus and prose.
Hey guys,
She called.
I, I'm I'm noticing that all these tools for ponies are using are cosmetic.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Chorus whispered.
I mean, I could probably find everything they're using back in my salon. It's like they're doing a makeover or something down there.
Prose thought about it. Prose thought about what Ginger said before. Something very specific caught her eye. She spied a special book on the table closest to the hiding spot.
I think they might be doing a little more than makeover down here.
Prose ominously proposed. She reached into her saddlebag and pulled out the book she had taken from Twilight Castle earlier. She rose it up to her line of sight, comparing it to the book on the table. It was remarkably the same book. Prose recalled something Twilight told her earlier that day.
Transmutation and disguise for beginners. An interesting read. It's only one of the two exists in it, copied in existence. It seemed like Prose had some. It seemed like Prose had just found the second copy. It was. It was the stacked on top of her other book. The other book, The Legend of the Mirror Pool. Hold on. Prose. Prose. Presume. Guys, I think something really shady is happening. I think we should get out of here like now.
Prose warned. What? What? What's happening? Chorus fully asked. Guys, what is going on? Suddenly, the entire cave fell nearly silent. The conversation between ponies had stopped, and every pony had gathered around the stone stage. A unicorn with deep maroon fur stood alone in front of the crowd. Every pony! Hello, every pony! His voice boomed and echoed across the cavern.
Hello, hello, doll keeper.
The crowd responded to the eerie unison, in an eerie unison. Ah, fuck. Okay. I know we're all tired, probably tired of reviewing all of this, but these steps are necessary for the smoothest transition possible. We cannot risk any pony becoming suspicious before the plan is complete. I'm sure we all understand that. Every pony murmured in calm agreement. Now, as long as we're all on the same page about that, I think we would. I would like. I think I would like. I think I would create a few more dolls tonight to be to be introduced into town tomorrow. The dark crimson pony stepped down from the stage, parting the crowd with ease. He crossed the tavern to its center, where the mirror pool patiently waited. The dollkeeper set hoof into the pool. submerging himself beneath the surface. As he reemerged, two doll makers stood side by side. He had cloned himself. The three hiding ponies shared a terrified look. They watched as the doll keeper horn began to glow with a red aura of magic. A string of red line streams out of his horn and wrap around his clone's body. The light swirled and glowed as it cloaks the ponies. As the magic dissipated, it was clear that what the book on the table was for. The pony emerged out of the magic was no longer a clone of the doll keeper. He had transformed it into a completely different pony. One that looked vaguely familiar to Chorus, Prose, and Ginger Blush. It was an innocent pony civilian, just another of their neighbors, perfectly replicated in second. The dollkeeper turned to address the group once more. Okay. I'll be heading to town early tomorrow to obtain the originals as quickly as possible. I want these dolls I want these dolls out there by tomorrow evening. I expect you all a brief and prep them by them. Am I understood? Ah, I hate this. Every pony immediately nodded in agreement. Great! A perfect day. A perfect Ponyville is just a doll away. A, a perfect equation within our reach, the doll maker propagandized. The doll keeper stepped out of the step towards the pond again, presumably to make more clothes himself. Chorus backed away from his rock.
You're right. We should get out of here.
You're right, we should get out of here. He spoke to Prose.
Some
Okay. Something really weird is happening here. We need to get help. Prose, eyes dark around the cavern, searching for an exit, her gaze landing on one of the crude tunnel that was the closest to them.
there.
She pointed.
That must lead to somewhere.
She quietly, moved towards the tunnel entrance with Prose and Ginger in tow. They sneak into the dark and slip into the tunnel completely unseen. They immediately wish they hadn't. The bioluminescent plant illuminated a spacious tunnel stretching into an unknown darkness. Lying all along the walls of the tunnel was unconsciously sleeping, unmoving ponies. Chorus immediately noticed a dormant Pinkie Pie lying down near the entrance. She knelt down by her side and shook her motionless body. Pinkie, wake up! I can get you out of here. It's me, Chorus. Pinkie. It was no use. He was out cold. Ginger Blush gazed down the tunnel to an infinite darkness that lay beyond.
I think I don't think this is an exit.
She guessed. Prose tried to quickly think of a plan.
You're a unicorn, right?
She spoke to Chorus.
Can you teleport out of here?
Well, teleportation magic is really complex in my I'm sorry. Let me check if everything is working. Okay, everything's working as planned. Well, teleportation magic is really a complex, and my specialty is in music magic. So the short answer is no. I can't definitely do that. I can. Chorus responded,
Magic is magic. Magic is magic. I read dozens of books on this stuff. They are shared. They are shared properties across all magic. You figure out. You figure out a way to teleport out of here. I need to grab some. I need to go grab something.
Prose darted out of the tunnel back into the main chamber of the cave. Ginger and Chorus shared a lost glance in each other. What does she mean that all magic has shared properties? Am I supposed to start singing the magically teleport out of here? Chorus asked. Ginger blinked in realization.
I think that's what exactly you should do.
What? Chorus looked confused.
You should create a song that channels whatever magic you need to teleport out of here. That makes sense, right?
Ginger explained. No, it doesn't. I've never tried it that before. Chorus refuted.
Well, now is a good time to try it.
Ginger encouraged. Chorus scoffed at the idea, but it seemed there was no other viable escape plan at the time. Fine, okay. Don't judge of a lyrics if the don't judge of a if the lyrics are bad. I'm just being put on the spot here. Chorus pleaded.
This is a judgment-free zone, okay? Take your time.
Ginger sat back, took a seat, preparing for the performance. Okay, okay. Chorus focused music magic on his horn began to glow. A clunking melody streamed out of his horn as he thought of some lyrics that somehow constitute constitute a teleportation spell. He closed his eyes and began to sing. I'm trapped in here, I can't leave. It's scared here. It's scared here and hard to breathe. I wish I was back above the ground, where singing birds were only sound. Ah, Chorus opened his eyes and watched his magic fizzle out. The spell didn't work. It's not working, he whined.
Try again, you can do it.
Ginger assured him. I'm in a place I don't belong. All I feel is fear. So I sing this magic song to teleport us out of here. This magic fizzles out once again as he opens his eyes. This is hopeless. There has to be another exit. Chorus conceded. As he finished that sentence, Prue rushed back into the tunnel, tucking a book into her saddlebag.
How's the teleportation coming along?
Prose asked. It's not. It's not. Chorus replied.
Well, okay. Okay, well, no rush. I think some pony I think some ponies out there saw me.
Oh, God.
There's a slight possibility they're following me right now.
Chorus and Ginger stared at Prose.
We should probably start running.
She advised. Suddenly, one of the ponies from the main chamber appeared at the entrance of the tunnel. He didn't look happy. Hold on. He didn't look happy. The three ponies took the hint and began to run to the opposite direction.
Now should be a really good time for the teleportation spell.
Prose shouted as they ran.
I tried. I couldn't do it.
Ah, I hate it here. Mm. Chorus confirm. Uh, Ginger turned to face Chorus as they ran.
Try it once more. We don't really have any other options here.
She suggested. Chorus sighed and concentrated on his music magic one final time. He closed his. I'm sorry. Must be approval because it got in my mouth. He closed his eyes, but the magic sparkled and shined from his horn. Fuck. He focused all of his magic into his song. A bumbling, swirling melody erupted from his horn as he began to sing his lyrics. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Now's the time for something clever. As I ran right into total darkness, this is my last ditch effort. I don't know any fancy spells, so I call upon this song. Save us from this prison cell. Take us back where we belong. A pink glow of magic burst out of Chorus' horn and engulfed Prose, Ginger, and himself. The ponies disappeared from the tunnel of the mirror pool and reappearing out onto the streets of Ponyville. The noon soon in the sky, illuminating the dark sky. The ponies all around, realizing a song spell had worked. They were back in Ponyville. I did it! Chorus exclaimed. Chorus exclaimed. And that's the end of chapter 4. A few more to go. Fuck. Welcome to my stream. Hope you're having a wonderful time. Okay. One horse pony. One horse town. A My Little Pony story by, you already know what I'm gonna say. And you love the game. Chapter 5, Help. The ponies stood dumbfounded in the middle of the streets. They had actually worked escape successfully.
I knew you could do it.
Prose stated.
Now we have to visit Twilight. Like like Princess Twilight.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Chorus started.
Yes, Princess Twilight Sparkle.
Prose finished.
She was the one who solved the mirror pool debacle that last time. Surely she will know what to do. Also, I have something to return to her anyway.
Uh, Prose pulled the Legend of the Mirror Pool out of her saddlebag. Prose led the group through the streets of Ponyville. The darkness of night made it slightly hard to navigate, but Twilight's castle was rather hard to miss. Prose raised her hoof and firmly knocked on the door on the to the castle. It took a minute, but there was an audible rustling and hoof steps coming from the inside. From the inside, a groggy Twilight opened the door to see the traces of three ponies.
Prose, what are you doing here? It's the middle of the night. And who are these ponies?
Twilight glanced at Ginger, then Chorus.
Well,
Mm. Chorus Prose raised the Legend of the Mirror Pool into Twilight's line of sight.
I found your book.
My thigh hurts. Uh, Chorus made a subtle coughing sound indicating he was ready to be introduced.
Oh, right.
Prose gestured towards these ponies behind her.
This is.
It had occurred to her that they never introduced themselves. Chorus. Chorus interjected. Ginger blushed. Ginger followed.
Why don't you ponies come inside?
Twilight offered.
And you tell me what and you tell me how you found my book. Ah, ah, ah.
Okay. The pony stepped in. The pony stepped through the door into Twilight's castle. Twilight sat down at the table, and the other ponies took up the rest of the occupied seats.
So it's actually a funny story.
Prose explained.
I don't know if I can explain it consistently, but something was super nefarious is going on, and that is why we came to you actually, and we need your help.
Twilight was struggling to keep her eyes open.
Don't you think do you think I can help you in the morning? You all can sleep here, and we'll put an end to this nefarious situation at the crack of dawn.
Twilight yawned.
Well, I think it's actually be rather time sensible.
Prose watched as Twilight almost completely dozed off.
Sure. I guess we can tackle it in the morning. Great. Great. Make yourself comfortable. Make yourself at home. I will see you three first thing in the morning.
Twilight wandered back to her sleeping quarters.
What if by morning it's already too late?
Okay. Ginger blushed word out loud. We'll just came across we'll just have to come across that bridge when we get there. Chorus assured her. The pony searched the castle for some empty beds and swiftly dozed into a long awaited rest.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody.
Twilight called to her house guests. Chorus, chorus, Prose and Ginger all opened their eyes to the sound of Twilight's wake up call. Twilight stood near their bed with the brightness in their eyes clearly replenished.
I'm ready to hear about that nefarious plot you were going to tell me last night. Last night.
Twilight announced. The three waking ponies climbed out of the bed and followed Twilight back to the table that they all sat at the night before. Prose slid the measure of the legend of the mirror pole across the table towards Twilight.
We found this at the mirror pool last night. The mirror pool isn't that close?
Twilight asked.
That's the thing.
Maybe that's the thing. Okay. Chorus interrupted. It's completely open, and there was another operation running down there. There was a tent and tables and tools, and look up, and half of the ponies of town were down there, and
I think he's planning to take over Ponyville or something.
Ginger Blush added. Twilight stared in shock at the three ponies.
You mean some pony staging a Cope?
Twilight asked. Okay. Okay.
It seems more intricate than that. I think this might have been going on for a while. For what we saw last night, Prose began, it looked like this pony, the doll maker, is replacing the ponies of Ponyville with his own clone.
Pony, I mean, Twilight staggered at the thought.
How could how could I not notice this? How many ponies out there just this are just this doll maker? this, I'm sorry. At this point,
Too many. Chorus clarified. That's why we came here to help you.
uh, that's why we came here to help. That's why we came to you. Though you were the one who fixed the issue with the mirror pull the last time.
Prose stated.
Can you do it again?
Twilight's expression turned to unconcerned and doubt.
Well, last time I had figured out who was the real Pinky was. This time there was no telling who and who is the duplicate. I can't risk sending an innocent pony into the mirror pool.
There was
There was a comprehensive catalogs who've been replaced actually. All the replaced ponies are being kept comatose in the mirror pool cavern.
ah. Prose explained.
Who's to say Pony is going to try and stop us when we go check?
Twilight asked.
It looked like they all followed their original version as their leaders. Even if we somehow stop the leader, it would be easier for us to stop the rest of them. Probably.
Ginger figured.
Yes! And yesterday,
I mean, yes, and yesterday that dollkeeper said he would be out of town. He would be out on the town this morning. So we could do a stakeout at the mirror pole and catch him when he comes back. Course diverse.
Spike, can you clear my calendar for the rest of the day?
Oh,
Spike, can you clear my calendar for the rest of the day?
Twilight called out to Spike, who was probably somewhere else in the castle. All right.
Oh, all right, ponies. Let's take out the Let's take out the mirror pole.
It didn't take long for the ponies to find the mirror pool again. They had all seen there. They have all been there once before. Twilight, Ginger, Chorus, and Prose all struggled to fight through its surrounding vines as they inched nearer to the entrance. We should seriously consider pruning these or something. Chorus half joke. One by one, they came out on the other side. They met by the entrance to the pond.
Is every pony ready?
Twilight asked the group. All of them nod their head to Twilight.
I'll see you down below.
Twilight said before as she took a graceful leap down into the hole. Chorus jumped next. Prose followed shortly after. Ginger paced to the hole a couple times, quickly move quickly past her anxiety or anxiety. Once again, she misstepped, slipped, and fell into the hole. One by one, the pony stumbled out of the exit tunnel and towards the dark cavern. No pony else was there. It was a jarring sight to see. The place so empty, even though no pony particularly supposed to be down there at all. Twilight held her hoof in front of her mouth, indicating that they all should be quiet. They didn't know who else might be lurking around here. She motioned for the ponies to follow her as she investigated the area. They walked around and got to see a closer look at 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 all the things they had only seen from the distance. The tents and tables were lined and stocked to the brim with lists, blueprints, and plans. Every part of the doorkeeper plan was laid out on the in a excruciating detail. Ginger blushed, took a close look at one of the blueprints at the top of the paper. In bold letters, it said Operation Dollhouse. She sat down the blueprint and caught with the rest of the group. Twilight investigated the rest of the cave, peeking her head in and out of the tunnel on its inner outer wall. She peeked her head in one of the particular and turned to slightly widened eyes. Her uh, mm. She lifted her hoop, motioning for the other pony to stay behind as she entered the tunnel. She disappeared into the entrance. Chorus, Ginger, and Prose each peeked their heads around the corner to watch Twilight work her magic. This tunnel seemed to be the base of operation, almost like Dollkeeper's office. The same blueprint and notes from the outside lines of the wall of this small chamber. A large stone desk lied on the table in the middle of the room. A chair was placed at the desk, facing away from the entrance of the chamber. Sitting down in the chair was the pony, was an alicorn with unmistakable maroon fur. Twilight inched closer to the chair carefully to be as quiet as possible. As she neared the chair, she sparked some magic in her horn. The ponies outside watched as glowing pink magic shot of her horn flew towards the unicorn in the chair, and the magic solidified into humorous pink chains wrapped around the surprised unicorn. Twilight used her magic to twist the chair around and see him face to face. Seeing the mouth, seeing the unicorn mouth had twisted into a menacing, mischievous smile. Though the ponies outside couldn't see Twilight's face, they all shared the same confusion. Why is he smiling? He's been caught. Eh, it's okay. I'll get a viewer afterwards anyway. I'll get a view afterwards anyway. Okay. A cloud of sparkled red dust. Oh, a faceless voice echoed through the small chamber. A good leader always fall has a fall guy. It remarks. A cloud of sparkling red dust flooded the room. The ponies watched as their faceless leader, Twilight Sparkle, toppled unconscious to the ground. As the mist cleared, the doll face appeared, standing above the unconscious alicorn. Don't you think I didn't know about those little spies you sent here yesterday? I caught them eventually, but I thank you for wandering so carelessly into my office. It makes my takeover so much easier. The doorkeeper laughed. The ponies stepped away from the tunnel entrance, and a horrified look was exchanged between them, which was immediately followed by an urgent run towards the entrance tunnel. The ponies scurried up the twisting tunnel towards and fighting the dirt wall, fighting to see the light of day. As soon as daylight was visible, the ponies clambered up the nearly vertical wall, bursting out of the top on the damp forest ground. As they caught their breath, their realization set in that their best hope of saving Ponyville was completely at the mercy of the doll face. And I think I'm gonna end the chapter here for now because it's really long. Like, okay, I'll just end it here for now.